Hmm. My camera does not like me today, eh? What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with another Cleveland Guardians series recap, series preview live stream. As finally, as the title says, finally, the road trip is over. And my camera has me praying to the baseball gods that somehow the Guardians offense can, you know, carry. I never thought I'd have to ask the Guardians offense to carry, but they have to. So the Guardians, of course, started the season 3 games in Kansas City, took 2 out of 3. Pretty damn impressive. Then they go to San Diego, get their ass beat. Boom, boom, boom. Too mad about that one. San Diego, as I've said, is a team built to compete with the Dodgers in the NL West. And even the Giants now, and the Diamondbacks. They're a team built to contend, right? And then we headed to Anaheim to face the Angels. And of course, the Angels are notorious every year for starting off hot and then just falling off a cliff. Well, unlucky for us, we caught them at their best. As, of course, ownership and their front office is really trying to get Mike Trout to the playoffs because he's only been there, what, one time in his freaking career? Hell, has a player as good as Mike Trout only been to the playoffs one time? I got to give him credit. He's loyal as heck because if I were in Mike Trout's shoes, I probably would have wanted my ass out of there a few years ago, especially when Otani was leaving. Because at that point, I was like, yeah, Otani's gone. We stink. I'm out of here. Trade me. Get me to a contender so I can at least taste some playoff baseball for once before I retire. My body falls apart. So, started off pretty interesting, not gonna lie. Of course, the Angels had Jose Soriano on the mound. You know, he's overall a pretty solid pitcher, I'd say. And the Guardians, well, we had the big rig on the mound. And the big rig, of course, was coming off a stellar performance in his first game of the year. Well, as you'd expect, he kinda, came back down to earth. He crashed back down to earth. Sheesh. 3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned, 3 walks, 5 Ks, and a home run for Gavin. Yeah. Now, not to be outdone, Jose Soriano, who messed us up last time we played him, 5 and a third innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned, 3 walks, 9 Ks though, but 2 home runs to the same guy, Jose Ramirez. Yeah, my freaking camera's gonna. I'm gonna throw my camera out the damn window. I swear to God, dude. I'm gonna just turn my camera off and just do it voiceover style. Pissing me off. I don't know why it's doing this, but it wants to do it. I'm gonna take my freaking Z drive out. Maybe it's interference. There we go. Okay. There we go. See if that works. But The reason why we did so well in this game is because of Jose. He had pretty much all the scoring. He got it going in the top of the first. Solo shot, his second of the year. And then Mike Trout homered, of course. So 1-1. Rocchio would double in a run, making it 2-1. Then Shenuel ties it up bottom of the third with a single 2-2. Joe Adell would make it 4-2, 2-run single. J-Ram would respond with a 2-run homer of his own, his third of the year. And then Rocchio would single in 2 runs, making it 6-4. And then Kyle Manzardo sac fly, 7-4. And then to put what we thought was the icing on the top, the cherry on top, Jose Ramirez, another solo shot, 8-4, top of the ninth. Clase comes in and he is not as good as last year for sure. He's kind of stakes. He gave up a home run to Logan O'Hoppe on what I would call a sweaty try hard at bat, where he saw how many pitches? Let's see. He saw 11 pitches. And it was on the 11th pitch where he hit the ball out of the park. Now, it was only a solo shot. Thank God. But still. And then Joe Adell would double in a run, making it 8-6. But then Clase would lock in and get the final outs or whatever. So, no problem there. Guardians take the first game thanks to J-Ram with his 3 home runs. And yeah, he had 4 RBIs, 1 for Manzardo, and then 3 for Rocchio. Okay, how about that? Love to see that. The win would go to Tim Herron. He's 1-0. The loss would go to Soriano. He's 1-1. And unfortunately, this would be the most fun I would have this series because the next 2 games would not go that well for the Guardians. And yeah, Tanner Bybee on the mound last night. I was really looking forward to Tanner going out there and shoving like he always usually does. At least he should. But yeah, it didn't go well. He gets the extension. You know, we're feeling good. It's like, okay, we got him locked in for a couple years now. That's cool. You know, hope it doesn't bite us in the ass. And it's straight up bit us like one of those T-Rex, like those bear traps. Right on the cheek. Ugh. Man. He went 4 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs, 1 walk, 4 Ks, and 4 homers. Konkonowitz, well, 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 3 walks, 4 Ks, and 2 homers. So we were out here having a home run derby. Carlos Santana would score with a home run, making it 1-0. And then Rengifo would respond with a home run, solo shot. And then Jorge Soler, who's an Angel now, he had a 2-run shot. And then Bo Naylor would homer in the top of the third, making it 3-2 Angels. Santana would tie it with a ground out. And then Mike Trout would homer again, 2-run homer in the 5th. And then O'Hoppe would a 2-run homer for him. And then Tim Anderson would double in a run, making 2 runs, making it 9-3. Taylor Ward would make a 10-3 with a single. And then Nolan Jones would add a little stat pad run on a ground out RBI, 10-4. Angels win. The win would go to Konkonowitz. He's 1-0 with 3.27 ERA. Bybee took the loss. He's 1-1 with a 6.52 ERA. Just an ugly game for him overall. And yeah, not really want to talk about that. Man, that's tough. Guardians did have 4 runs, 7 hits, and an error. Angels, 10 runs on 11 hits and an error. Now, you compare that to what they did in the first game of the series. And again, offense really isn't the complete issue. It's pitching. We can score runs, although we have squandered like a billion chances to really blow games open. But, it's just the way the lineup is. This lineup has like two or three really, really good players right now. Juan, J Ram, and Kyle. That's really it. Santana's all right, but I don't expect much out of him with his old age. He's more or less just like a walk magnet, get a clutch base hit here and there. Just don't embarrass yourself. That's the one thing about Josh Naylor. Yeah, he struck out a ton, but man, when he made a play, it was a big one. And it mostly left the yard. That's why I kind of miss Andres too, with his glove especially. But yeah, first game, Guardians had 8 runs on 10 hits and an error. Angels 6 runs on 12 hits and no errors. So yeah, pitching, big problem for the Guardians thus far. Starting especially. My camera is literally gonna get tossed out the window. This thing keeps freezing. I don't know why. OBS is evil. Alright. So we move on to today's game. And yeah, or yesterday, I guess, to Sunday's game. And it wasn't much better. Of course, Luis Ortiz against Tyler Anderson. And Tyler Anderson was as good as you'd expect, right? He did allow 2 runs, but there was whatever. Now, Lane Thomas would get us on the board, so the Guardians do score first in all 3 games. So that's a bright spot, I guess. They do score first. Lane Thomas sac fly made it 1-0, but immediately right after, of course, Logan O'Hoppe would homer, making it 1-1. Tim Anderson, who is on the Angels now, in case you didn't know, he had an RBI single, thanks to a throwing error, making it 2-1. And then Cal Manzardo would tie the game in the top of the 4th with a solo shot. And that would be it for us, because Jorge Soler would hit another solo home run, his second. So both home runs for him have come against us. That dude owns our soul, I swear to God, man. 3-2 Angels off the solo shot. And then Rengifo would get a sac fly in the 7th. And then a sac fly from Soler. 2 runs score on those 2 sac flies, making it 4 and then 5-2. And then Kyron Paris hits a home run in the 8th to make it 6-2. Luis Ortiz, slightly better, I guess. 6 innings, so he went actually deep into the game this time. 7 hits, 3 runs, 3 Ks, 2 homers, no walks, which is it's a baby step, It's better. Still giving up runs that went over the fence, but he didn't walk anybody. That's baby step in the right direction. More like a small step, like very small, barely moving, but it's better than what we've had the first 2 games of the series. And I mean, he didn't completely blow it. I mean, he only gave up 3 runs. I mean, tough though, you know. Bullpen kind of just pooped itself again, as usual. Tyler Anderson, 5 innings of 1 hit, 2 run, 4 walks, 5 Ks and a home run for Tyler Anderson. The win goes to Zephyr Hahn. He's 1-0 with a 3.38 ERA, and Ortiz is 0-2 with an 8.44 ERA. Wow. So he has a little promise. We'll see how he does as we get into the season. So that's really it regarding that. Yeah, that's all I can regarding this series against the Angels. And now, luckily, finally, the Guardians get to go home. Keep in mind, they haven't been home in Ohio. Probably, well, for most of them, they don't stay in Ohio for the offseason. They go elsewhere. So a lot of these guys haven't been in Ohio since October. Because, you know, baseball season ends, then they leave Cleveland to go live in wherever they live during the off season. Some do stay around, but mostly they all leave because I wouldn't want to be living around Cleveland in the winter. I'd rather go to my summer home if I had one. So, for some of these guys, this is the first time they're going to be in Cleveland since November because they spent 2 months or so around there in Arizona. These guys haven't even been able to haven't been able to settle in. They have an off day tomorrow to settle in. They're probably gonna, walk into the new clubhouse and be like, "Oh my god, look at this place! It's amazing." But yeah, the Guardians they are on phase 2 of renovations, which are finished up. And then I believe after this season, they will finish up the renovations in general, putting in the remaining blue seats and stuff, and probably finishing up anything else that they need to do. But the best part is there's no awkward ass Guardians banner down the third base line. That little suite area is completed. They've done that already. That's all done. So that's good. As far as I know, it is. So, who are we facing? Well, none other than the Chicago freaking White Sox, who are 2-7 on the year. So you think we're doing bad? They're as bad as we are. And I've talked about their staff and their team. Their team, talent wise, is not that good. So it will be, let's take a look here. It'll be Ben Lively on the mound for the Guardians. He's 0-1 with a 6.75 ERA, 7 Ks. And taking the mound for the Sox is Shane Smith. So generic. NPC-ish name. He's 0, he's actually no record. No wins, no losses. 3.18 ERA, 3 strikeouts. And of course, we've never faced him before. So that really helps matters because if Jose has never faced you, we haven't faced you. That's the way I look at it. Or Santana, even. That's crazy. Santana came into the MLB the same time as J-Ram. That's how old he is. That's crazy. So, against Lively, though, Hawkman has a home run, as does Tice for the Sox. And then Benintendi has an RBI, Sosa has an RBI, Talkman has 3, Tice has 2, and Vaughn has 1. Now, Smith is coming off a start against Minnesota on April 1st. 5 and 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 3 Ks. And Ben, of course, coming off a start against San Diego, went 4 1/3, 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks. Took the loss. He looked good first time through the order, but man, when you let a team like that with those great players that they have, oh my god, this camera's gonna freaking. When you let that team get to you, yeah, you're cooked. My freaking app just crashed. The OBS just crashed. Okay, all right. Well, ain't that lovely? It was only a matter of time. Just like the offense. Come on, you stupid app. Okay. Wait for YouTube Studio to come back to life. All right, we back. Sorry about that. OBS crashed again. I was waiting for it. My camera starts glitching and freezing up. It's only a matter of time before the stupid app crashes. So we back. I don't know how much I got through on the Angels series, but there really wasn't much to talk about after the first game. The offense was anemic again. They couldn't score against Kakunowitz and Tyler Anderson. Yeah. And then pitching stunk. There's the Cliff Notes version. In case you missed anything from the thing before my app crashed. So guess the good thing is it crashed before I got into the White Sox series for the most part. Yeah. Now this thing is buffering. Okay, that's lovely. Piece of garbage. Dude, I tell you. I don't even know if this thing even got half of what I said. Oh well. Whatever happens, happens. It is what it is. But Jane Smith is the NPC level pitcher. We got a member. Yay. Asia Robertson. Damn, 24 months. 2 freaking years. Love it. She said, Crazy Dogs, I'm just taking one day at a time. That's what you do. Take it one day at a time. That's a motto to live by right there. Hope everything's good, Asia. But it's so funny. I didn't even know what was going on. I could hear the freaking the music and the freaking microphone. The sound of Elmo just getting down with it. Love to hear that. But good to see you're doing all right, you know. But anyways, yeah, Shane Smith, classic NPC type pitcher. We've never faced him, which we already know how this goes. We've seen this before. The Guardians are probably gonna get carved up like a damn Thanksgiving turkey. This dude's gonna probably throw 7 2-hit 1-run innings against us. Who knows what's gonna happen, right? So that's the first game, right? Ben Lively, he's due for a bounce back. He does really well at home too, so I like our chances there. Oh, you look at the lineup for the White Sox, they actually have some scary bats, especially Lubob. I mean, Talkman can get you Taylor, Vaughn. You know, it's a bunch of like role players and placeholders. That's pretty much their team. Role players and placeholders. Hey, what's up? Daniel says Vlad got paid 500 mil. Yeah, I saw that right before I went live. 14 years, 500 mil, no deferrals. Figured that was going to get done sooner or later. Good to hear they got it done though. So, oh, my remote fell off my bed, of course. Game two will be Burke versus Logan Allen. Lovely. At least that's it'll be Sean Burke against Logan Allen. Yay. Can't wait for this abomination of a game. Sean Burke, a righty, so that's cool, you know. Can't wait to get carved up by this dude, too. As I wait for the matchup thing to pop up here. So, against Burke, who we have faced one time, nobody has done anything against him. Literally. Only one guy really has a hit, and it's Quan. He's 1 for 1. I think Burke was out of the pen, that's why. Now, Logan Allen, on the other hand, again, has only allowed a homer and 3 RBIs to Vaughn, an RBI to Benintendi, Lee, and Sosa. That's it. So he hasn't done too bad, but still, not great. Burke is 1-1, 5.23 ERA, 4 Ks. Logan Allen 0-1 with a 6.75 ERA and 1 measly strikeout. Burke coming off a start against the Twins, 4 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, 1 K, and he took the loss. Of course, Logan Allen. I mean, 5 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 5 walks, 1 strikeout against San Diego in his debut for the season. Yeah, this is probably not going to go well for us. But it'll be fun, I think, you know. Second game at home. Maybe the Guardians show out in front of the home crowd. Moving on to the third game. Best part is all 3 games feature pitchers we've really never faced before, so I don't even have to do the stat muse garbage. Now it'll be Cannon versus Gavin. So they're skipping over Bybee, I guess, setting them up for Kansas City. That'll be interesting. All right, so Gavin. So Gavin, no wins or losses, 4.50 ERA, 7 Ks in 2 starts. Again, he was solid against Kansas City. Cannon, 0-1 with a 3.12 ERA, 8 strikeouts. And against Cannon, Nolan Jones, RBI, a home run and 2 RBIs and 2 at-bats. Manzardo has an RBI, and that's it. And J-Ram's 1 for 2. Against Gavin, well, Benintendi has 2 RBIs, and Vaughn has an RBI. And that's it. So, again, you know, 2 guys that really haven't faced these teams yet. And Cannon's coming off a start against Detroit on the 4th, where he went 3 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 3 Ks, so a whole lot of threes. And he took the loss. Gavin, of course, coming off a start against the Angels, where he actually didn't do horribly, but it wasn't great. 3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks. If it wasn't for the innings, that would have been a solid start. But he didn't take a loss, which is fine. So he's off to a decent start. Need him to cook, though. Help our bats out. And hopefully we can wreak havoc. So, yeah, this will be a quick one. Because, again, we've never faced these guys, so there's no history between us or these 3 pitchers. So that'll be fun. Angels might be good. Yeah, they might be good. They possibly could be good. I kind of hope that they are. Because they need to be good, man, for Mike Trout's sake. If Trout can stay healthy, I think they can be a team to keep an eye on this season, and maybe they make a push for a wild card. Maybe they could win the division if they can stay healthy. But we'll see. I doubt it, though. I think they're more destined for a wild card appearance. But that is going to wrap it up for this stream. And I will be back tomorrow, or today, technically, Monday night, for the National Championship. Florida and Houston. And then, of course, Tuesday, or tomorrow now, I'll be live for a doubleheader. Guardians, Sox at 4, Cavs and Bulls at 7. Cavs have a chance to clinch the #1 seed in the conference. Right. With a win in Chicago. I'll be live for both games. In the words of Kevin Harlan, calling both games. So, with that being said, have a great rest of your day or night, or depending on where you're living. Shout out to Asia. Shout out to Jacob, Daniel, Paramjot. And, yeah. This team needs to wake up. I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go, Guards. And I'm out. Bye-bye. Oh, man. Team freaking stinks. This team freaking stinks. This team freaking stinks. Hey. Bye-bye.